Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and current events from around the world. We're starting off with a look at the ongoing situation in Ukraine, where peace talks are set to take place in Geneva this week. The Kremlin has announced that the main issues, including sensitive questions of territory, will be discussed during these talks. The Russian delegation will be led by Vladimir Medinsky, an aide to President Vladimir Putin, and will also include military intelligence chief Igor Kostyukov. These talks come at a time when Kyiv is under mounting pressure from the US to strike a deal, while Moscow is demanding that Ukraine cede control of the Donbas area. The conflict in Ukraine has been ongoing for years, resulting in significant loss of life and displacement of people. In related news, the US has been increasing its military presence in the region, with President Donald Trump stating his desire to broker an end to the conflict. However, Russia and Ukraine remain far apart on key issues, including territory, control of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, and the role of Western troops in post-war Ukraine. We'll be keeping a close eye on these developments and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. It's a complex and delicate situation, and will strive to provide balanced and unbiased coverage. In other news, Iran and the US are also engaged in talks, with the Iranian delegation seeking a deal that will generate economic benefits for both countries. The talks are taking place in Muscat, with Switzerland playing a key role in facilitating diplomacy between Tehran and Washington. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're diving into the world of international politics, where U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has just concluded a whirlwind tour of Europe. Rubio addressed the Munich Security Conference, met with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, and visited Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico, striking what some have described as the same ideological notes as his predecessor's EMAGA themes. Despite speaking of an unbreakable link and shared heritage with Europeans, Rubio's message has been criticized for being overly critical of Europe's energy policy. Some European leaders have expressed concerns that Rubio's stance may further divide the continent, rather than promoting unity and cooperation. On the other hand, others see his visit as an opportunity to strengthen transatlantic ties and address common challenges. It's worth noting that Rubio's tour has also sparked controversy, with some critics accusing him of cozying up to right-wing leaders in Europe. However, others argue that his efforts to engage with these leaders are a necessary step towards building alliances and promoting American interests abroad. As we analyze the implications of Rubio's European tour, it's clear that the world of international politics is becoming increasingly complex. With rising global tensions and shifting alliances, it's more important than ever to stay informed and engaged. We'll continue to follow this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're wrapping up today's show with a look at the ongoing debate surrounding U.S. aid cuts to the Lesotho Flying Doctor Service, as well as some updates on the Winter Olympics and space exploration. As we've been following, the Lesotho Flying Doctor Service has been facing significant challenges since President Trump's aid cuts in January 2025. This vital service provides medical care to isolated communities in the southern African nation, where roughly 300,000 people lack reliable access to healthcare. Despite these setbacks, the flying doctors are determined to bounce back stronger and more efficient. Meanwhile, at the Winter Olympics in Italy, U.S. athletes have been making headlines with their impressive performances. Figure skater Ilya Malinin recently opened up about his struggles with the yips or twisties, a phenomenon where athletes experience a mental block that affects their physical performance. Sports psychologists say that while training can help prepare athletes for pressure, the unique stress of the Olympics can sometimes overwhelm even the most experienced competitors. In other news, NASA's SpaceX Crew 12 mission successfully docked at the International Space Station on Saturday, marking the beginning of an 8-month research expedition to prepare for human exploration beyond Earth's orbit. The crew consists of American astronauts Mir and Jack Hathaway, French astronaut Sophie Adenot, and Russian cosmonaut Andrei Fedyev. As we close out today's show, it's essential to recognize the complexities and nuances of these stories. From the impact of aid cuts on vulnerable communities to the mental pressures faced by elite athletes, there are no easy answers or simplistic solutions. By staying informed and engaging with these issues, we can work towards a more empathetic and equitable world. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.